I've been bout my papyrus since I've been in it. Put me in the debate, you know I'm gon' win it. If I scream black power, don't get timid. If I say black city, I'm talking about Kemet. If I say black city, I'm talking about Kemet. Primary research and we done pushed it to the limits. All you dudes finished. The king counting cattle up with brother Reggie. When I'm in Oakland, smoking, bro, they love the Chevy. Back in the day, it was the spokes on the chariot. Long procession when the king got carried out to every spot. Woman looking nice as ISIS. I read ancient texts, so my advice is priceless. Nubian gold, your ice don't entice us. Beating me harder than counting grains in your spices. Your heart was beating, but your brain dead, you're lifeless. Yo, they ain't nothing like us, yo. Don't try to make me mad. Make me smile and say you love me, man. That's real right there. Yeah, come on. You should listen to your main man's advice. Do a YouTube, apologize like Dice. Or the back fade coming like the Antichrist. Egyptologists sent me reading and said that I'm nice. I got a speller with your name on it. I'm like Sargon. You the type of dude wake up in your car gone. Told, cause of the money you owe. Before you stream, you should clean up that humble abode. Like Akhenaten City for my woman in gold. I keep the pseudos running, people coming in droves. You catch me on a live stream with Pan-African James. When we building, call us by our African names. I'm for the children. And ain't nothing happen to change. We on that black hype, so we still packing them things for protection. Got connections, My complexion, pure black, that's the S. Make me smile. You love me? Show me some love. All right.
What's up with it? Smash Rock Wellington is in the building. We about to, well, matter of fact,
I'm riding script in my car too. Roll through with them arches. Hard cool.
We ain't heard hard cool in a minute.
I'm been new giving y'all truth. Iron core from meteorite should be chartreuse. Turbocharged the chariot. Almost left Ferrari. The queen like
it just came on slapping like that. I had to call.
Immortalize an image, put a figure in a figurine. Him at Netherett hoop. Them lepers.
I don't know what I said. Him at Netherett hoop. I'll be just chilling when I'll be on that vibe. We about to have a good show though. I got my man, Pep Love. So look, man, we just was talking, having one of them early morning business conversations. And he had some great ideas about ways to release this new music. So I was like, man, we supposed to be streaming this. And I just said, let me go live on my show. And there we go. I'm trying to get this big. I said, let me go live on my show and then we can get it cracking. And so let me see if I can share the screen. And if you will, you can unmute Pep. Let me see, screen big. Oh, now I'm popping up twice. I don't need to pop up twice. So let me see.
Cash, does this light right in here work?
Yep, that one sitting right there. It just must not be plugged up on the top. Well, we see you. I can see you clear. But you,
I wanted to see if I can put the light on because I got the album cover behind me.
Okay, yeah, it should just be a little switch on the top.
Switch it up or down? Oh no, I see.
Yeah. All right, we live.
The light didn't come on though.
I don't know. Is it plugged up? If not, just give it a second.
Oh no, it ain't plugged in.
Yeah, it probably ain't plugged in.
Oh, what?
Let me let you do your thing. Hold on.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, you can tell me. Okay, you got it?
Yeah, can you see the cover art at all behind me? Or I'm just standing right in front of it. Like if it was.
No, I can't really. Yeah, I can. Oh, I can. Yeah, now that I see. Now that I
But it's
see,
hella shit behind me though.
yeah,
Whatever.
I can see it. Yeah, it came out. Look, so how you feel? I mean, so we got
Excited.
the new
And
album in today, and we ready to drop it. And we just was having discussions about. I'm just telling the people ready to having discussions about ways to drop it, planning, networking, and just building. But you tell me how you feel about what you got. Show us what we talking about. Look at this thing. That thing looking clean. What?
yeah, this is a gatefold, not because a lot of times people get gatefolds because it's a double album. You know, they got two vinyls. I got a gatefold so we would have something that I could sign for the fans, like a open space, um, and gives them, a little bit, maybe a little bit more motivation or incentive.
No, I mean it just make it raw anyway. It's just raw having it like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, instead of it just being like a a what do they call it when you just have the shit they used to do it with CDs too, where you could just slide the CD into the envelope type thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is called a gatefold. I can't think of what the other one is called, but yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm excited to do something that feels, like
You gotta
the
turn the
caliber.
camera around.
Oops, my bad. I'm excited to do something that is more the caliber of what we have accomplished and established in hip hop for all this time. With our brand being a huge part of it, but I think a quality presentation with our music fuels the brand, and vinyl is making a comeback. It's trending, but it's also just intrinsically is a more of a quality presentation of your music, where people can hold it in their hand and they can read the cover art and turn the record over when they play it, whether they play it or not. It's something that they can have and hold in for perpetuity.
Hmm. I know in that move. So people probably been hearing me talk a lot about vinyl, but they probably don't know my main inspiration was what you've been convincing us of and teaching us. Like, yo, this is what it is right now, and basically it is from you telling me what you want to do with your album. I started doing just little posts and doing some numbers just to show people like, yo, this is a no brainer. And one of my posts inspired by your ideas was 1 million streams. Is that Plea?
Yeah.
What's up, Plea? We live, Plea. What's up, though, blood?
Please. Hey.
All right. I just seen you tapping in with Pep. Hey,
He
but
got his. I think he got his ear pods on.
oh yeah, that's what's up. But 1 million streams is $4,000. And I was like, yo, that's only 160 vinyl at $25. So wise cats, what do you think you're gonna do easier? Independent young artists like us, you know what I'm saying? What you gonna do easier? Is you gonna get 1 million streams or sell 160 vinyl?
Sell 160 vinyl. I mean, it's a no-brainer, but because in reality, trying to garner a huge amount of notoriety and fame is it first before you have a product to sell is, in my opinion, is putting the carriage before the horse. Make your music be serious about your art and make it pay you. That's the first objective, and then I think the fame comes. The million listeners on Spotify, that comes after you have consistently, because making a living and making money doing this shit is what allows you to be able to put more time and attention into it because you got money coming in. This whole pursuit of getting millions of followers and millions of listeners is a part of it. It's a part of the picture. But people tend to make it not. It's just they do that on. They're trying to with this way they fuck with the dopamine rush in your brain with everything with social media, even with Spotify monthly listeners. They're trying to trick people into being satisfied with just that, and I think it works. People will tend to only focus on getting, social media followers and monthly listeners, and they won't even be counting their money really at all.
You're right.
And I think we got to find a way to where a balance to where we don't completely abandon our digital presence, but at the same time don't allow it to draw us in a way to where we would neglect some of the traditional shit that is just part of being in business for one, and the music business in particular.
You're right.
Especially us. I mean, independent artists that actually have a name and have a brand and a following. People come to our store to buy stuff anyway, and I think it at this point I think it'd be it's like a pleasant surprise or a return to what they know us for. If they go to buy the new Hyro kicks or the new hoodie or the new whatever apparel that we got, and they like, oh shit, Hyro got some new music that they actually got the shit on vinyl. They got that's part of that's a product too, you know. And I just think in general, I don't think it was necessarily intentional that any artist went away from that. I think it just kind of gradually, happened that people's attention mostly was on what people be mostly paying attention to anyway, which is their phone and Instagram and shit,
You're right. Because think about it. The merch and stuff, they weren't successful in digitizing that. And so they would have took that from up under our pocket. So now it seems like when we focused on these particular type of items, that's just because they got their hand around the streaming, and it's not giving us back this issue like it's supposed to. Instead of figuring that out and protesting against it with not protesting like boycott, but protesting like you doing, like I'm not putting my stuff on there. It's not even an issue. Like if you want to stream, you listen with streaming, but when you want to hear mine, you're going to do it this way.
And I mean, it is a privilege to be a artist that does have some kind of a following and people out there that will fuck with your music. But we got to be willing to take some chances and use it in a way to where that's the most advantageous to us, and not just what is the prescribed way to go about this, because certain things have established themselves as the more popular, or where there's just a pull to you doing shit a certain way instead of it being intentional. And like, no, this is the way we do it because we know what we're doing. This is our business, and we know that this, we make money when we sell our product. It's just a trip to me that music in general got away from it being something where people are like, okay, we put something into making this. Now we got to get something for it. Like this is
no, that's all part of that same scam that you was talking about. To convince us that, you remember when giving away music for free came out? Oh, just do a free. What other industries do they be like? Oh, just give away a free car. Oh, just give. They won't even give away a free turntables. Like, oh, just give the people free listening devices, free ear pods. What? You talking about the whole product?
It went from being promotional to being the whole thing. That's the real problem. Like, they gave us the extra vinyls to possibly give to DJs or give to people who we think are influential in music or whatever. That's always promotional has been a part of it, but like streaming basically said your whole shit is about kind of promoting yourself, getting your fame up, and then maybe you might get booked for a show, or people might be able to sell, some merch or whatever.
So
they're not saying they somehow made it to where it's the norm to alienate or to marginalize your music in the market as something that is a viable product. And I just sat back and thought about that, and I'm like, that don't necessarily have to be the case. You don't got to make your shit available for everybody all at the same time. I think the logic is that in the world of the internet, there's billions of people watching all at all at the same time. And you put your shit in that stream, you just might get all billions of those people, which is never going to happen, no matter how big you are.
But the instances of that they use is what we call going viral. But keep going. You know what I'm saying?
No, exactly. I was missing the jargon. The spell that we under is that we at any moment we could go viral. So they kind of like are selling the notion of fame. But in a lot of ways, some of the best music and some of the artists that have become big started off in their own niche, and they grew from there. It's like everything isn't for everybody all at once. And you want to get people to. My thing is, I want to get other people who kind of have a similar interest in things, and I'm doing, enthusiasts. I want to get the enthusiasts talking about what I'm doing, and the point to me, because that's always been a thing since we was teenagers, that like a homie that really is a collector of certain things, like he collects records or collects model cars or whatever, some shit that they really into. You will follow what they say because they really are they really fuck with it really hard. So I want to tap into the people who never get spoon-fed music, who really just are like music people who love it the most and who put the most of their time and interest into it. The people that are more discerning about what they like and what they fuck with. I want to see if I can do something to please them, and then see how it radiates from there. Like when they say like one super fan is worth 10, mainstream fans or whatever. I think it's basically the same logic. The one enthusiast that might buy a record on vinyl is worth damn near 100 people that might only hear your music when it plays on a Spotify playlist, where they don't even necessarily get to find out the name of the artist or the name of the song. They might be like, "That slap," but who was that? Like, "Oh no, this is just Rap Radar. I don't know. This is just the playlist or whatever."
Yeah, exactly.
That fan is not worth as much, and that's the reason why they don't pay you as much for that fan. They like, dude, you got 1 million monthly listeners, but like 999,000 of them was just from your song being on popular playlists.
But we could talk about it. I probably haven't given it too much thought, but you just made me think about it right now. That playlist and shit is a scam too. Because streaming is when they actually choose. Streaming, well, the difference in the way we get played from digital satellite radio and streaming means they go to Spotify and type in casual. Then they say, they say, ultimately, we're streaming right now for the colloquial sense of the word.
But you saying that the streams, when they count monthly listeners, they're not counting the listeners that listen to a song because it was placed on a playlist?
No, that's not what I was saying. I was just saying that they're using the apparatus of digital satellite radio, which pays at a different rate. And I don't know if that's affecting it, but digital satellite radio is when we go to Sirius. If we go to Shade 45, we can't type in casual and listen to the same song over and over. And so they switching it because you get paid when people do that. But if they playlisting you think that's better, but that's actually a little bit worse because now they doing you like a radio station. And instead of that person just, like sometimes I'll listen to Rock Marciano, I'll type him in my car and just let all Rock Marciano stuff bump. And he be getting his royalties. But if I just go through a playlist of 90s hip hop and wait for a Rock Marciano song to come on, he gonna get less money. And I'm like, and they promote that playlist and like, oh, they figured out a way to even give you less again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they promote the playlist more than they want people to know about the playlist by name and everything. But the artists kind of get to a melting pot of all the other artists that's on the playlist.
Shout out to my man Sonetta. I see you in the chat right now. Peace to you. And I don't know what you're talking about. The Comedics don't really have nothing on the Israelite brothers. We could talk about that later, but But shout out for being in the chat. Also, so keep going. And there's a lot of people in the chat. Shout out to y'all. Thanks for tapping in. Let's keep this good conversation going. And so a lot of the things we was talking about was specific to you, to your plans for putting out your stuff. We don't gotta do all your details, but one of the things that you was talking about was the delayed spot. I think that delayed Spotify thing is big and something we probably need to try. You know what I'm saying? You want to build on
because
that?
I mean, I think there is an effective way to use streaming as a artist that is releasing new music.
The camera kind of half on you. I don't know if you know that or not.
Yeah, I'm not good at keeping.
Oh, there you go. No, you're good right now. Now you're good.
But yeah, I think there are productive ways to use streaming as an artist that's putting out music, new music right now. And you know, I think you got to prioritize your sales and being able to bring in revenue. That to me, that's comes first. The whole, you know, I'm gonna get famous and big and get a bunch of people following me on, you know, and I think in a lot of ways people want to be able to use those numbers as leverage. Like, look at me, you know, like, look, I got 1 million monthly listeners, you know, so throw me a bone. The industry, the game, just throw me a bone because I got 1 million monthly listeners. And sometimes I don't, you know, I don't know that the bone ever comes. I never had like that many on my particular Spotify, but like I know artists that are not as well known as me that have put out a song on streaming that got over 1 million streams, and you know they got their check, but the shit snapped right back to what to their normal level of numbers after that release, you know, petered off and shit. And so, like, I think you use streaming. I think you can use streaming to sneak peek something that you are going to put out on as a physical product later on down the line, and you can use it as something to give the. I don't want to diss anybody, but you know what I mean. Like the spoon fed fans, you can give the spoon fed fans something. Because some people are never going to buy a record player or whether they buy a record player or not, they're not going to buy your vinyl. It's going to be out of sight, out of mind. They might have been around somebody that talked about it and they played it or whatever. And they're like, yo, who is this? This is dope or whatever. And they're like, this is an artist that Pep Love got his album is strictly on vinyl and tape. And they're like, oh shit, well, I don't got no record player. What, you know, back to playing video games and shit. And they forgot about that. So you can give them a chance to listen to your music for a brief amount of time. Like, for instance, my Comedy put out this record called Pray for Haiti. And I'm pretty sure he had already sold all the copies of vinyl that he had pressed up for that album. The album had already been out on vinyl for a couple of months. And then for that particular album, because he got a bunch of albums, that particular album, he allowed that album to come out on streaming. And he had it up on streaming for like over a year. And that is the album that I banged because first of all of his albums was sold out. By the time I found out about them, like everything, you can go take a look. Everything on his site says sold out. So even if I was going to dig in my pocket and buy it, there are no copies available. And being able to listen to that album made me understand, because before it's just hoopla. I heard about him, but because he's got a strong following of people that buy his shit on vinyl, and just in that alone, he's doing something untraditional. And these is like hardcore, these are enthusiasts. So me getting a chance to listen to his album on streaming after he already have made his bread off the album, it's not taking nothing from him. He sold out every copy of his vinyl and tapes. He allowed his album to stream for a while. And if you go to his Spotify or his Apple Music now, that album is no longer available. And it ain't even available for sale. He's doing it just to keep up the aesthetic. He's like, yeah, well, there's a certain point with my music to where you can't get it no more. Like, period, across the board. Like, you can't buy it on vinyl, you can't buy it on tape, you can't hear it on Spotify. This is just a myth. You got to find out a way if you want to hear these songs, you got to figure it out, or buy my next shit, basically.
So that's more like the art of music. Some people say that clashes with the capitalist side. Like, you know, like, oh, you could be getting more. For instance, there's an argument mounted that, well, I think streaming is good because it introduces all these new people that wouldn't have just went and bought your vinyl to your music.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like that's what got me. I listened to that album and I loved it. I'm like, okay, I understand now. Makami really is dope.
So how does that
But
fit
now that
into a
album is gone though.
how
I
does
can't
that
even
fit
listen to it
into a
anymore.
business plan of not streaming?
Well, I think what he's doing is leveraging scarcity. And that album will be available again in, a year or two or whatever. Who knows? But he's very prolific. So he's got another album. He's put out multiple albums since that particular album. Um, which I didn't buy. He's selling his albums for like $300 each. I I ain't like hard. I'm not. I haven't. I'm on the business side of it. I haven't gotten into buying,
Oh, hold on. $300
purchasing
each?
shit. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I
He
thought
was
I
he
was
was
one
selling
of
a lot of albums for $333.33. It was all threes.
for real. And they
Yeah,
sold out?
yeah. All of his shit is all sold out.
Oh man. So yeah.
All sold out.
Because I done $100 digital download, dog. So they didn't even receive nothing tangible. It's all about the price of the value of the art. You see what I'm saying?
I mean, he really is leveraging scarcity. He strikes anytime anytime Rap Genius tries to put the lyrics to his songs up on their page, he gets it taken down. He will not allow his songs to be transcribed for people to read the lyrics online. He's really that's a huge part. I saw an interview where he was like, "Look, my music ain't meant to be in everybody's hands. It's only meant to be in the people's hands who fuck with it hard." And him being so hardcore about what he's done made him stand out in a way. And he's good. He sound like Mos Def mixed with, grimy rap, New York cat, New Jersey cat kind of, and he be rapping in French Creole and shit. Like he's got a whole little, unique niche about him. But that's quality. And so I look at it as you leverage scarcity and quality instead of, it's kind of a counter to leveraging fame and popularity and mainstream viability with, juxtaposed to leveraging scarcity and you can't easily get this, but this is good. Like McDonald's is everywhere and they making a killing, but it's not the same kind of dining experience that you're gonna get if you go to Ruth Chris or to Del Frisco's. These are steakhouses.
I hear you. I hear you. And they still getting it too.
Yeah, they getting it majorly.
Yeah, I mean 334 album. I'm just sitting over here doing the math like he killing the game, bro. That puts you in the
He's
millions.
making big money.
I'm saying that puts you in the millions. We don't. I mean, so I always do this type of shit on my show. Just I do the knowledge and the numbers, and we could run some. Take that. That's 330,000 off that 1,000 vinyl. You press up 1,000 vinyl, and you sell out. That's 330 vinyls. You got to do that 3 times. You got $1 million.
And because he sells so well, he just be putting out a lot of albums. He like, I got to get another one. He just be putting out so much shit because he like, look, this shit is selling like hotcakes.
All right, we ain't doing. I mean, see, $25 vinyl was over, bro.
That's for Doja Cat selling her album in fucking Barnes and Noble.
I don't even think it's cheap like that in Barnes and Nobles. I'm gonna go do some research today, maybe, and go to these stores. Like, do Best Buy still got vinyl?
I don't know, but Target does.
I'm gonna go see. I'm just gonna. If you could just drive through the city and stop at stores and see what's the vinyl doing right now. Like, do they got sections?
What's the other store that used to be up on Bancroft by Telegraph?
Rasputin's?
Nah, this is a clothing store. They sell candles.
Urban Outfitters.
Urban Outfitters, yeah. Urban Outfitters, they sell, but you know, they be having a small little collection. They don't like, not a full vinyl collection. So people will come in there and they be like, okay, if it's in Urban Outfitters, you know, I'm gonna buy it. Cause they only got like they were selling that MF Doom record in there, like a reissue of MF Doom's The Governor track. And yeah, you know, from what I understood, for a while there, Urban Outfitters was one of the biggest sellers of vinyl.
So I'm on this Mark Homie. I can't get past them numbers, man. 1,000 vinyl.
That's not even the biggest number. Like, he had albums that he was selling for 1,000.
I might have to do $1,000 album one day. You only need 1,000 people to buy it to have your million.
And it's like a smaller version of what Wu-Tang did with that album, where they sold just one copy for $1 million. He's like, look, I got 250 copies of $1,000 album, and now I've created a mystique where people know that they're not. If you're not gonna be, people know who I am, and people know now that they're not gonna be able to even hear this album unless they buy it. So, and it's almost like they adding it to their art collection almost. Well, that's the way his approach is.
If it wasn't for Big Head Science, I'd be feeling game goofy in this conversation. You know, you game tight because you sitting with your product. You could just pick a price right now and say, that's what I'm doing. And I've experienced them. I don't want to call it a markup. I want to call it testing the value of my music to my fans and my patrons and seeing if they fuck with me like that. And they do. You know what I'm saying? It just, people do. I do. I could be watching somebody's YouTube. I might give them 50 bones because I like what they talking about.
And the Souls had, I can never remember dude's name, but Souls had a guy that was on the road with them.
When you talk away from the mic, it's hard to hear you. I'm just letting you know because we streaming live. But what you say?
I'm trying to find Plea. But the Souls had this dude. Oh, Plea, what's dude's name that be copying records and then selling them secondhand? He was on the road with y'all for a minute. He's like from Virginia, but he lives in New York. He raps. P something. He was like he was following y'all on. He's Oaks dude. He followed y'all for a whole tour. He was like opening for y'all, but he was paying for his own place, paying for his own rooms and shit. He's one of them kind of openers. And he like P. Watts. So this dude, P. Watts, you know, he was on the road with the Souls, but he's watching, you know, I think Mark Homie is one of the artists. He's watching to see when the record is going to drop. I mean, literally like how people watch eBay auctions.
I mean, we can create that mystique. Dog, if we start talking about, I mean, you lead the way. I'm with you. I want to help assist with that. But if we start having these conversations about the new Hyro album, we're going to cake up. You know what I'm saying? Like making it exclusive in some regard, but making the payout be so much bigger than if it wasn't exclusive.
And what you said in the chat is key. Like, putting out more in different kinds of vinyl and analog releases and starting to get people to just see you that way, getting the catalog up, dropping 45s, dropping singles just as one song and having it just come out on a 45 and shit, and just, you know, there's a new movement with vinyl with 45s, and Reloop, I think is the name of the company. They just came out with an exclusive 45 record player. It's a brand new thing. Nobody has ever made just a record player that's just for playing 45s, and it's sold out. Like, it's sold out within I think the first day, or I forgot what dude was telling us, but it's sold out quick. So that means that if people are buying the player, they're buying the 45s. Well, but anyway, a lot of indie artists that are in different, you know, like electronic music, rock, punk rock, I don't know, funk, whatever. They've been doing this whole thing with 45s. They'll do a song, they'll record the song, and they like, this song is dope, and I think this is a good song for the fans, and they'll just print it up on a 45. and sell the 45s. And the homie that we know over at Beat Swap Meet, which is like that company that they be putting on like vinyl fairs, he was like, "Look, man, the people who buy 45s, they want more 45s from hip hop artists than what they're getting. Like hip hop is on the rise when it comes to the whole 45 movement." He even told us about an artist that hold on a second, I got to sneeze.
Yeah. Oh, bless you.
He told us about an artist that not on the rise, somebody that we all know of. I can't remember who it was, but he was like, "Man, they just put out their album that they just released. They put it out as a 45 box set. So basically, they broke down the album into separate songs
Oh, that's
as
hot.
individual 45s, and just it's a whole box
Oh
set."
my God,
And
that's
he's like,
hot.
he's like, that shit sold out like in the first day
Yeah, it will. It will.
because DJs like it, and in general, there's like a market. There's a market for 45s right now in
Well,
music.
all of those markets is about to grow again. But just like you just said, it's on us to recreate the infrastructure to support the
Mm-hmm.
movement back to vinyl. So whoever made that small 45 turntable, they smart. And I've been
Yep.
talking with people in that regard, you know what I'm saying? Like all this stuff just got to be updated. But it really, the problem with vinyl, it's not a problem, but it's the size of the vinyl.
Yeah, I watched the whole documentary. I put it in our chat. That's one of the main reasons that vinyl, that the industry itself wanted to move away from vinyl because of how heavy it is and how, the difficulties in moving it around and the difficulties in storing it. It's a bulky product. It was never that the fans and the lovers and listeners of music actually had veered away from it.
But
The music industry itself veered away from vinyl.
But also, music started going places where you couldn't take vinyl. So they came out with Walkmans, and I mean, we had
Yeah,
portable. It's
yeah,
not portable.
yeah. Because before, when our parents was growing up, you had to actually go somewhere to somebody's crib that had a record player. Like it was not this portable thing. And the 45 was the most portable version of something that you could play. It was no tapes, it was no cassettes.
But I
That was a
mean,
shift in just the way that our society is and the way people are moving around. They're just people wanted to be able to bring their entertainment with them wherever they go. And that was just a move that the market of society and capitalism was moving to, was portability. And
so
vinyl
you
ain't
have to
that.
solve that problem too. Because if somebody buy your vinyl, how do they take it with them and bump it in the car?
They can buy the tape.
See, they don't got tape in the car or CD. So the
I
problem,
mean, yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like it is a somewhat about like having people embrace a different way of living and a different kind of like way of appreciating music that's not the prescribed or the most popular way. And so that makes it not just scarcity in the scarcity able to get the record, but also it's the scarcity is in also being able to consume the record. You can't just listen to it like you listen to everything else. You can't just, play it from your phone. That's something that people have gotten accustomed to, but in reality is not the end all be all. That's kind of a place where the market of the world moved to in a certain era of its evolution, you know. And I think we kind of are in a phase where people are like, damn, did we throw the baby out with the bathwater with some of the shit as we, allowed this everything to progress into what it is? And people do want to experience some nostalgia, or even youngsters that are like kids, they want to experience something new.
yeah, that's
So
what.
'cause
See,
to them, it's new to be like, okay, well, yeah, you don't just do everything on your phone and you're not just listening to your phone. I actually got music that's a physical medium and that's different to them.
well, the job of us in modernizing it, let them have it's not nostalgic to them. It is new, but we have to take the art, have to take it out of the nostalgic We have to take it out of the nostalgic realm and make it, modernize it. Like, for instance, just think about being at the house and whipping out an album, you know what I'm saying? Just think about being at the house and whipping out an album. Every time you do that, and then you go, unless you got some 1200s, you probably got an old antique record player. It's automatically a gesture of going back in the past a bit.
Yeah.
But there needs to be another way to do it, and that's what my brain is doing. For instance, what if kids could just pop albums in their PlayStation? I'm just saying another way to do it, to where they was like, oh, it's more modern now. Whip out the vinyl, and I can put it in my same gaming device or whatever. Well, stuff like that, whatever it is, that probably isn't the real one. It has to be, well, they made it smaller. They made compact discs, right?
Yeah, and I mean, part of the way you do that is you and your friends hang out together and listen to music together somewhere where somebody has a record player. I do want to do something to engender people getting together again, because I actually saw some billboard either on a magazine, and it was just about like people appreciating their time together. Maybe it was even about food, like it might have been like an ad for a grocery store, like people coming together to have a picnic, and this is how you put together your charcuterie plate with your wine and and choosing things. And it said something like rediscovering the art of getting together.
Hey, don't put me on the screen. Put you on the screen. Tap yourself on the screen so that you can monitor how you look, so you can see that it was just showing just the table. See what I mean? And now you can see yourself big and me small. Yeah, now you can see what I'm seeing. You should make it so you can see what I'm seeing, so you can keep your ear. Yeah, and you can wipe that ash off the table, because they're gonna be like,
How do I make it stay big?
Oh, if you just tap on you instead of me.
Oh, okay.
Now you see yourself,
okay.
right?
Yeah, that's
yeah. Now you can see what everybody else sees. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So what was you saying now? Anyway,
it said rediscovering the art of getting together, and I think, as far as like making it more convenient or making it something that people consume in an advantageous way to their lifestyles, and to make it to be like something that they're more likely to actually do, there is a part of it where we're trying to like re-engender at the some kind of human social activity that has kind of receded in the modern era of people, getting most of their entertainment from their phone. So, part of it is trying to, I think, and this is, you don't got to preach about it, but part of it is engendering a sense of social activity that is nostalgic, like getting together with your friends.
Well, then if that's the case,
I mean, that's how everybody didn't buy the same record that they all wanted to. We would be a group of friends. We want to hear that new Gangstar album, but only Plea bought it. So we gonna go over Plea House and smoke some weed and drink some beer and listen to that new Gangstar. Because he the only one who went to the store and bought it. I know that's not the way of, that's not the popular or that is not the established, the predominant way that people listen to music anymore. But in order to what is it called, to make listening to music more of a convenient thing, part of it is people embracing social activity where you get together with people a little bit more, because that person who you fuck with, who you always have a good time with when you hang out with them because they play cool music, yeah, you go hang out over at Plea's house and listen to the new Hyro, the new Gangstar. Go to your homie, your homie that's a super head in college that has a dorm room where he has a record player in his dorm room, and he got records that you can only get on vinyl. you go hang out with him. And there will be pockets and handfuls of these people here.
He don't
I mean, in
exist
the
no more
world that
though.
are forging ahead and helping to establish new cultural, popular, predominant norms. I think.
Dude don't exist no more though. Because
Say that again.
streaming killed that. It's not an
Yeah.
option to even dig in the crates with streaming. Because what you gonna type in? West Coast hip. What do you type in for streaming to find music that you don't know? In the past, you just go. I mean, it'll be
Yeah,
in
you go to the record store and
yeah,
you thumb through it.
and
It's
you
like,
go
oh, this
look
looks
and you
cool.
look at the artist, you look at his cover, you turn it around, you see his features, you be like, oh, I might fuck with dude.
Yeah.
But now, how do you do that? You can't
How do
really.
you even find that artist in the first place? I don't know. I don't know how people. There are discovery tools in Spotify and in Apple Music, but yeah, I don't like the fact that I can't easily or just off the top just reference them and be like, yeah, this is if you use this feature in Apple Music, that takes you to a part in Apple Music where it helps you to discover new music.
Yeah.
I know it exists, but
He got to be on a new music playlist, which takes you back to the same BS, right?
I mean, you got to be damn near just as much of a music enthusiast to do that on a streaming application as you would have to be into vinyl and going, record shopping and ordering, the new vinyl from artists. That's damn near just as much of an enthusiast activity as being a vinyl head. Being able to use Spotify and Apple Music as a discovery tool. You gotta be on your music lover shit to even do that in streaming. So
I got some questions for you now, and I'm not switching the subject. I do want to pivot a little though. Oh, don't trip. Yeah, everybody know how we streaming. We phone streaming. It's all good. But the whole thing is this: what's the new? We should establish this, and we shouldn't let corporate America establish it. And I see brothers pushing the envelope. What's the I'm not talking about your product, but just for vinyl in general. What should be the new base price point for vinyl in hip hop?
100. That should be the base. $100. Because you're selling way less copies. It's not like you're shipping out thousands and thousands of copies.
Okay, but you saying that from the artist perspective. How does that make sense from the listener or the fan perspective?
It's the fact that you bought something and everybody else doesn't have it. They don't got this. You got it because you were the one who knew what it was, and you knew that it was worth it to spend $100 on it.
So
because some people like, oh, $100 for some music? Music ain't worth that. But that's because you don't realize that it is. Some people is like, they know. They like, oh yeah. I mean, like I said, LaDude P. Watts will buy something for $100 and then go resell it. He ain't necessarily even buying it to listen to it.
I mean, I would buy albums for $100. I sold digital albums for $100. I'm not against it. I definitely agree. Because if you just think about other things that cost $100, bro, it'd be less. It gives your life less value than an album. So
exactly.
A one night dinner with one counterpart at a cool restaurant costs $100.
Yep. And all that's
what's gonna bring more value?
All that's gonna do is send you to the toilet.
Thank you. What I'm talking about your people's real life. What bring even a Boo Boo album? I mean, no pun intended on what you just said, but even a whack album brings more into your life than one meal, one night.
100%. Because over time, you may grow to like some of them songs that you thought was whack at first. Or you might play it to your girl that you just started dating, and she might be like, I love this song. I love this artist.
And you like, oh, the song has some use somehow.
Exactly. It might get them panties off.
You
didn't even like that song.
Now we can talk about those lifestyle applications of songs that have turned something from whack to hot. Like, yo, man, every time I'm on the RV, I'll be with my wife and them. I can't really play certain music. I have to slap on 2 Chainz or something. You see what I'm saying? And I'll be like, what's that part of hip hop? What's that going on? Like, what the songs that we select, it ain't got nothing to do with vinyl, and I'm not going to spend too much in this course, but I just want to make that side note. that there is lifestyle application for music too that ain't nobody really exploiting. Because when it get cracking, you want to hear more of the stripper sounding music. I don't know what they call it, but you know it got that bass and the. Who want to hear like, you don't want to hear melodies and shit when it's cracking with hella women around.
Yeah. Nah, you want to hear something up tempo
And some
and,
bass
and
driven.
with a steady groove.
Well, you want to know some of the part two of that? Now we talking about some of the super science of music. I build like this all the time on my show. People know I'm crazy. It comes down to the vibrations, right? And bass got vibrations that you literally can feel. And we have body parts that react differently to those type of vibrations for real. And so cats be like, why you think they play a certain type of music that vibrate a certain way in strip clubs?
Yeah, because they feel it in the nether regions.
Because the seat shaking, the sheet be going boom, vibrating, and I mean,
all the way down to their toes, really. But it goes up when a girl is doing what she's doing, and she, is trying to get into that kind of a mood anyway. And the bass is actually vibrating. She can feel it in her butt, actually. So she's like, okay, well, I might as well go ahead and assist this spot where I'm feeling this vibration at and start shaking it.
Well, you know what I started thinking now? That's why you can't stay still when you listening to music, because it's all these different the music is a series of different vibrations coming out in different, and they start to bombard your space, and they really make you start going like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yep. I'm just saying, like, what makes people actually start moving their body to music? What science is that? I think it's really scientific. Just like if the wind blows, the leaves move. When the music plays, the body moves. Like, it's just like when the wind blows.
Yes, it's frequency. It's just frequency, and tempo is a form of frequency.
Tempo is frequency. That's what it is. I mean, it's how often something repeats is frequency. You know what I mean? Yep. And so,
and that up tempo with the up tempo with the hard hitting bass is, that's the nether regions. it makes girls want to twerk and shit.
So we got a cool audience. Shout out to the people watching. I want to talk more about your album before I let you go. I mean, on the creative side of it, we talked a lot about business of music, but let's talk about some creativity. You want to talk about the path or the journey of releasing this album? Any?
I mean, I created most of the album with Bedrock in the studio. We just was vibing, and he'd play a beat or start making a beat, really. Which is, this is one of the first times, I think that's the first time I ever just created a whole album based off like studio sessions instead of like kind of getting the beat and writing to it and coming up with something that I think is cool. Then maybe recording a demo or whatever, or not a demo, but like, okay, I wrote my verse or I wrote my lyrics and now I'm ready to go record it I did my homework and now I'm coming to the studio to, record. That's how it's usually been, but this time around we had sessions that I started because I got this kind of like artist grant, which included like studio time at Zoo Labs. So I was able. I mean, it's obviously a better usage of your time and your money if you got songs that are already prepared, which I did have a few of those, and we kind of just added to and enhanced those songs. But this is the first time. It was an eye opener because I'm like, damn, you can get shit done in the session. Sometimes we just lay our verse and be like, it don't got a hook yet, or we don't got the drive to just finish the song is not all the way there because you just recorded your verse or you recorded the verses. You didn't necessarily come up with a hook. There's something about being like right there in the creative process in the studio that will almost drive you to take the song a little bit further. That's one of the things that I noticed about working like that, like working with a producer who wants to like be part of the songwriting. And that was a little bit testy, you know, because I'm not used to that. But having a
So,
producer that actually wants to be part of the whole process from the beat all the way to like the hook and the even the lyrics to the verses and shit. Like
well,
he was a part of everything.
well, you know, if that was kind of testy, I understand. But the first time I got tested like that was with Dante Ross back in the day, and I started realizing the majority of people we work with be beat makers. That dude's a
Yeah,
real producer. The
yeah,
people
yeah,
who give you a beat and don't say shit after that with no input, they beat makers. But
yeah.
Quincy Jones ain't about to just give Michael Jackson the beat and just say, "Do your magic." He
Yeah,
sit there
yeah,
and be like, you might should. So I have to start learning to respect
yeah.
what a producer does because as being a sensitive artist, nobody ever, like the way we rock, we don't be telling each other. I mean, let somebody make a mistake or you know they slipped, might have misspoke on a lyric. We
Mm-mm.
don't be producing each other because we consider each other masters. Everybody know what they doing, but that don't
Yeah,
necessarily mean that it's going to put out the vision that the producer sees when he even made the beat. And so I like working with producers. Now I like people who say,
yeah.
"Yo, change that one line." I don't take it as an insult to my artistry anymore as I used to do when I was younger.
Yeah, yeah. And just, you know, having somebody like it felt sometimes like I'm having to deal with somebody who's being pushy and insistent. But it's more somebody who is very committed to contributing to the song. And so when you're not used to it, it feels like somebody is trying to make you do shit that you don't want to do or whatever. Or just
But
trying to tell you what to do, period. Because, you know, at the end of the day, sometimes you resist things that people are trying to tell you to do just because you don't want nobody telling you what to do. Not
yeah,
necessarily that you don't like his idea or
yeah.
whatever. It's like, I don't really need you to tell me what to do.
That's not the proper way to resist it, but we find ourselves there because of the way we communicate quite often. It might just be
Yeah.
a way that you're communicating this the same way too many times during this artistic endeavor. I can't keep having you say change this. Find a new way to say change this, bro. Like you know what I'm saying? I mean, sometimes I get yeah.
And different ways to work. Like he works fast. So I'm like ready, I'm ready to record, re-record my vocals until I get it all the way right. And he's like, no, I got enough. And I'm like, what do you mean you got enough? I don't feel like my shit is finished. And he's like, nah, I've been chopping up your verse and making a comp from all your different recordings that you did into something that does work. And you know, honestly, when I first heard it, I'm like, nah, I kind of like slipped a little bit. He's like, no, dude, I don't want you to do it no more. Like, I want to keep it pushing. And
Well,
when I listen to it now, I'm like, oh shit, that actually, the shit that I thought that I wanted to do over again, I'm like, this actually sounds fine. It actually probably sounds better because it sounds more natural, even though this is all edited of different pieces, which you know that's a skill that only certain producers and engineers have practiced. And you know, since he knows how to do that, you know, he's like a fast editor and shit. That's something that he is used to doing. And before I even knew it, he already had a whole verse that he had put together from the different verses. And you know, like in any other case, most people don't know how to do that like that. So it's not necessarily something I'm just gonna take for granted and be like, no, I don't want to do it that way. You know, since you know how to do it and it's something that you already did, I had to kind of just be like, okay, well, let's just at least give it a listen. And a
so
lot of times it you know, not all every time it turned out cool. Sometimes he wasn't even in the room and I just did it my way. But having that perspective was eye opening, and it kind of just showed me like what the value of working with a producer is. You know, if somebody is asking for the same amount of money to just give you a beat and walk away as somebody who is gonna sit there and be completely invested in the song, you might want to rethink like the value of what the producer is bringing to the table. Are they really actually trying to help you to produce to create a finished product, like for real, produce?
A
Or are they
hundred
just like,
percent.
okay, here the beat is, give me my bread, and then just
There's
keep
no
moving.
conflict in interest. See, the reason why we need to default, I mean, this is just a mature conversation, but before we have it, there was a cassette of yours sitting on that table. I just had it there for display. I took one cassette out. It ain't no cassette. It was somebody cleaned the table, I see. But it ain't no cassette sitting on that table.
They probably put it back in the box. I don't
Oh,
know.
okay, yeah, that's all fine because the shot is so nice. It would have been nice if it was just one sitting there the whole time that we was talking.
Nah, that wasn't even there no more when I got here.
Oh, what, the cassette that was on the table wasn't
Yeah,
there no
yeah.
more?
On the conference table, on
That
the
table
table
right
that
there, that table that you're sitting at.
yeah, nah, that wasn't even here no more when I got here last week.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, but yeah, okay. Just I just thought I mean, just thinking. Well, I see the album in the back over there in the corner anyway, so that's dope. But
Oh,
yeah,
it's showing up now, huh? You can see it now,
you
huh?
can see it. You see what I'm saying? But it's just kind of look like the wall a little bit. But unless you look, you can see
Yeah,
it.
it's blending into the wall. It's the same color as all the other shit. That's like a whole black and white montage back there.
Man,
But
that's
look, I
what.
gotta. I'm about to put. I didn't even really put on my clothes for today. I
Oh
was
no,
waiting
you
for.
know what? This has been an hour too, so this is perfect. This was wonderful. I'm probably going to keep on streaming just to play the little. It's not little, but we did a short. Remember the short we did up in Canada? I forgot what it was called.
Oh, the
Um,
video, inevitable.
Inevitable. Yeah, I'm gonna play that after this, so just so people can
Okay.
keep game of what we got dropping. Good hollering at you. Thanks for giving me your time. I'll talk to you
All
soon.
good.
Peace. Peace. All right, let me come back. Hold on, y'all. Let me come back, and then I'm gonna start another stream. That was my man Pep Love right there. His new album, Acres of Diamond. So we be have to have business conversations. Cause we just us, yo. We do it with each other. Like we do like this. We got people who help us over the years. But he was just at the office and warehouse and he just received a pallet of his new album. So let me pull this up real quick to share with y'all how raw this boy is. Let me see. For those, I mean, I know everybody know Pep Love, but for those who don't in my audience, you just heard us talking. You really ain't heard no get down. So let me see if I can find this one inevitable. If I can find it, because I'm really, dang, it might have to come out the video editor with it. Let me see if I can find it. And if not, I'm gonna come back with another stream in a minute, talking about something. But I'm happy that y'all tapped in and watched this. I don't even see the video. Happy that y'all tapped in and watched. That's my man Pep Love from the High Road Crew, always rocking. I'll be back later on some knowledge. I might go handle some business, or I might just play the game for a minute. I'm gonna handle some